I'm live. Okay. Still figuring this out, guys. Happy Wednesday. Time for my Wednesday live show, right? So here I am. A mess. So anyhow, again, happy Wednesday. Today's topic is going to be self-care. So, I sent out an email on Monday that kind of touched on all of this. If you've followed me or know me at all, you know that I'm really into self-care. And I personally believe that there are three things that make up the foundation of self-care. Those include mind, body, and nutrition. So I practice nutrition self-care through clean foods, whole foods, things that grow out of the ground, things that are going to give me nutrients and take care of me and heal my body as it goes along. As far as the body part of mind, body, and nutrition, I'm really involved in the gym, in CrossFit, movement heals. That's why there's things like physical therapy. CrossFit specifically helps joint health and a lot of other things. It builds muscle, movement heals. So, but today's focus is really going to be on the mind portion, right? Because mind, body, and nutrition. So how do we take care of our minds? There's no doubts that our mind needs to be taken care of, but it's probably the one out of the three that's looked over the most, right? So, our minds deal with daily stressors. There's anxiety that we deal with. We've all experienced some form of depression. Those of us that have been hit really hard by life have experienced trauma, right? Hi, Michelle. So those of us that have experienced trauma have to, carry that with us and work through that. And there's just so many, there's so many things that our minds actually deal with. So self-care for the mind really is important. Probably the most popular way to take care of your mind is through meditation. There's a lot of different forms. It's super, super helpful, but it does require dedication, time, and regular practice, consistency, right? Once you're actually practicing meditation consistently, it really starts to take an effect, right? So, but I don't really want to talk about meditation today. I want to introduce the idea of paying attention to our thoughts and the way that we speak to ourselves, right? Because that's probably all the way at the very bottom of how we can take care of our minds. But it's, again, something that's overlooked, right? So when I first started years ago, started paying attention to the way that I speak to myself, I got up in the morning and I went into the closet and I put on my work pants for the day, and they were a little bit tight. And I thought to myself, oh, you're fat and you look like crap and you need to do something about it, right? And then I walked into the bathroom and I started to put on my makeup, right? And I thought to myself, oh, you look so run down. Look at yourself, right? Thank goodness for makeup, because we can't have people seeing you this way. I went to work, right? And at the time I worked in an office where I did daily reports that showed people's commissions, right? These people had a base pay with a commission on top of it. I was an employee with just a base pay, right? So I'm sitting there. I was administrative assistant. I was sitting there, I'm doing my reports, and, and I saw sales personnel that had commissions that were making 3 times as much as what I made, right? And my thought wasn't, oh, yes, I got to get there someday. It was, well, that's their role and this is your role. And some people have that and others don't. Some people have the gift of gab. Some people have the ability to go and make a lot of money. The rest of us are just going to, just get by and, fight for what we have or live with less or whatever. That was my thought process back then. And that's what I was constantly telling myself. What I want you guys to really get from this, though, is that when we're speaking to ourselves, it's our inner belief system, right? So we're creating not only our thoughts, but our beliefs, our ideas, and we're creating our fears by what we say to ourselves all the time, right? So So Brene Brown, right? Because we all know that I love her. She is a shame and vulnerability researcher. I'm pulling something up because I want to quote her the right way. So anyway, so she likes to say that we live in a not good enough culture, right? And I really believe this to be true because constantly and I think this is a big part of the reason why, right? We don't only have other people that shame us, right? People tend to shame other people when they feel like they're not good enough and they want to feel better than the person across from them that they're shaming, right? But what about the fact that we shame ourselves all the time? We do it to ourselves. Well, I was getting up telling myself that I was fat. I was getting up telling myself that I looked run down and I wasn't smart enough to stand next to the people, you know, that had a couple of more years in college than I did. And none of it's really true, right? But that's what I was telling myself. I was creating my own belief system by doing all of that. You know, and I think that a lot of us do this out of the desire for perfectionism, right? And we all hear that it's something that doesn't exist. I mean, this is where I want to quote Brene Brown because she has a really great definition here underneath perfectionism. She says, it is a self-destructive and addictive belief system that fuels this primary thought. If I look perfect and I do everything perfectly, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of blame, judgment, and shame, right? I can minimize the personal feelings of blame, judgment, and shame, right? So, yeah, I'm minimizing that, but am I? Am I, by trying to be perfect and shaming myself all the time? Am I really minimizing that? Not really. I might be trying to minimize it from others, right? But first of all, why do I even need their stamp of approval, right? If I'm living in alignment with my values and I'm striving for my best and I'm acting from a place of kindness and love, why do I need to fit into all of those molds, right? We all try to be perfect, and in striving for that, you know, and that's something else that she says, you know, perfectionism is not about striving for excellence. It's about trying to shape into that mold that the world has created for us, right? So yes. So in striving to be perfect, we shame ourselves, right? And it's completely counterproductive. So those are the thoughts for today. And I would, you know, and I want to invite you guys to, I have on my website, nicoleann.life, I have a guide. It's a free guide on there. It's called Going from Lost to Creating the Life That You Want, right? So if you go onto my website, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you can put your name and email in there and it'll get emailed to you, this guide. And don't worry about me spamming you. I don't spam. I send out an email once a week on Monday, but you will get this guide instantly. And the reason I'm telling you to go download it is because I speak about this in there, right? And I also tell you what my mantra was when I started to change all of this, because by creating or speaking to myself in a different way on a regular basis, I mean, I started to counteract my thoughts. I started to say random, you know, I am statements. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am determined, patient, joyous. I am love, right? I started practicing those kinds of things. And when I heard myself say, you're fat, I started to counteract it with, no, you're not. You're perfect just the way that you are. You know, you can have goals, but that doesn't make you, you know, fat or ugly or not enough, right? So, but in addition to counteracting all of that, I created a mantra that had all of the things that I wanted to be one day. I didn't necessarily believe it when I was saying it to myself in the mirror every morning. But yes, so that's in there. And there's some tips on you creating your own and some goal setting. So it's really a useful resource and kind of really ties right into what I'm speaking about today. So if it's something you're interested in, hop on there and download it. If not, that's okay too. As always, you guys know I do one-on-one coaching. If you'd like to have a complimentary discussion on ways that I could further help you, just reach out to me. You can reach out to me via my website. You can reach out to me here on Facebook. You can send me an email. All of my contact information is in the About Me section right here on this Facebook page. So I really do hope that my thoughts that I'm sharing with you are helpful. And if there's ever anything that you'd like me to speak about specifically, let me know, and I will do that. Okay, so have a happy Wednesday, and appreciate yourself. You are deserving, you are worthy. All right, bye.